Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never Words Podcast. I'm Tom Brown. That's Jack Brown. Jack, what a day. It's finally here. Roman Anthony. He was called up on Monday. Yesterday, he batted fifth. Mayer batted sixth. Campbell batted seventh. It was a beautiful thing. And hopefully that's just the way it goes from now on. And in the future, that's the order, just, maybe higher up in the batting order.
Well, I mean, the way Alex Cora shuffles the lineup, Tom, you never know. Marcelo Mayer has or Marcelo Meyer. Marcelo
It's
Meyer.
Meyer. I've been saying Mayer. It's Meyer.
It's spelled like Mayer. Marcelo Mayer
Meyer.
Meyer, wow, has
Now
two
you're doing it.
homers tonight, so I'm sure he'll be batting fourth tomorrow. Um,
Well,
Listen,
the
Tom,
thing,
yes, they're up there. They're all the big three are here, right? The future is now. Um, what are the Boston Red Sox though? 33 and 36, 9 games back of the Yankees, 5 game back of Toronto. Obviously, it's not early, but it's early still that they could make a hot run. They could get hot in July. Um, However, if the intention of Meyer is not going anywhere when he gets called up, and Roman Anthony is called up for good when he gets called up, if that's the case, then you have to make an investment in those three guys. And the investment I'm talking about is 150 games, or like they have to play at least two of those three every day. And you have to let them play and let them struggle. Like Campbell struggled in May. And the dumbest thing I heard was send him back down. Ken Rosenthal, a guy who is so I like Ken Rosenthal, but you can tell when a national guy doesn't have his finger on the pulse of a local team. He said Campbell needs more defensive reps in Worcester. Like, no, he doesn't. That is regressive to send a guy down after 2.5 months. That does not do anything for his psyche. Like in the rare cases that it works, like they're just that rare. I mean, I'm optimistic, but at the same time, that first game that he played was the worst game to watch of the entire year.
can I just say I was going for a celebratory start to the podcast, and I know you had a rough bad time and a little internet problem a second ago. You came in hard with the with the negative in your herd. I
Mm.
was celebrating the fact that Roman Anthony was up, but sure, okay, well, let's take it down that road. Yes, I think I'm interested to see where this oblique injury came from because Abreu just pinch hit and then or he was a defensive replacement Sunday night and he might have hit, I can't remember. But then all of a sudden Monday he was hurt and Roman Anthony got called up. Yeah, I don't know how he hurt his ab or his oblique. Um, I I think to your point about the investment, I agree with you. Just leave them up, let them play. I think the investment is you have to declutter that outfield. And um, I got to tell you, I read a Fangraphs article, or no, an athletic article. Jaron Duran was mentioned as a trade target for possibility for two teams. Um, I, you said it in the text, the group chat. It does seem like the smoke is that if one of those outfielders was going to be moved, it was going to be Duran. And as your battle cry the past couple weeks has been, leave Cedane Rafaela alone.
Yep, I have a new battle cry, but we're gonna get into my positives in a second. But yeah, that keep going. But yeah, I'm on board with what you're saying right now.
No, I just think you have to. The move seems to be get a pitcher for Duran. I think that is going to build momentum just based off MLB trade rumors saying it. Um, Jim Bowden of the Athletic put out his like possible like targets for contenders. And just to note, the Red Sox were more in the sellers than, as you said, what are the Red Sox? They weren't even in the wild card contenders, which made me, I just had a my stomach dropped reading it. I was like, are they going to try and walk the line again this trade deadline?
That that's what I'm worried about. Like I can get excited about all the young talent they have, and I think texting you and the group, it's been overwhelmingly positive when I talk about the future of Mayer, Campbell, and Roman Anthony. I do
Meyer.
not trust Meyer. I do not trust the current Red Sox baseball operations team to let that marinate. Like they have three lefties coming into town for the Yankees, and it is not guaranteed that Marcelo Mayer or Roman Anthony are even going to play against those lefties. In Roman Anthony's debut, he was pinch hit for. I mean, granted, you can make the argument we're trying to win now. I think that takes a little self-reflection and a look inward to realize you might not have the horses that the Yankees and the Blue Jays do in your division. Yet you may have three of them. You got to let them breathe. But yeah, I that's my nightmare, Tom. And you just made my stomach drop, suggesting that they may be that 50-50. We're going to get rid of Vasquez, but we're going to take somebody back too. Like that kind of one in, one out bullshit, which makes them, I mean, exactly this 500 team, sub 500 team right now. Again, the Roman Anthony sorry, the Roman Anthony debut was soured by the worst game of baseball the Red Sox have played all year.
Yeah, they slopped it up. They made some sloppy steaks out of that game.
That was a great skeet.
Thank you. But I know he got pinch hit for. He did make an error, which I would just like don't care about. It was his
You called
first
it.
time playing.
It wasn't an error. It was a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah,
It was a whoops.
Yeah, that ball just stayed
Also,
down
I
on him.
mean, if we can talk about just I guess organizationally management, he's been playing left field all year in Worcester.
Mhm.
Coming up and playing right field at Fenway Park is a very hard thing to do. Granted, it was a ground ball to him. It did the outfield dimensions didn't
Yeah,
play anything into it, but still, it's just Marcelo Meyer is a shortstop who hasn't, to my knowledge, played an inning of short in his major league career. Maybe
no.
something on a switch, but I don't know. I don't know that he has.
Um, and thank God for Abraham Toro right now because the
Talk about my
bull,
new battle cry.
the bull is keeping Christian Campbell at second base, his position.
Well, he's
And
also hitting third and fourth in the lineup, which
yeah, hey, went deep straightaway center not too long ago tonight.
I believe me, Toro is it. I've been saying it, I've been skeeting it for the past couple of weeks. Is Toro a dude? Is Toro a dude? He's got 4 homers and 90 at I think 5 now that he hit that one. He's got 5 homers and like 93 at bats. He's hitting 320. Like I'm a Tristan Casas guy, but I mean Toro is playing his way into playing every single day. And like he's a switch hitter, which is so desperately needed on this team. Um, and I mean, if like you said, if it keeps Christian Campbell at second and not just throw another position at a rookie, like keep him there. I have no problem with Abraham Toro right now.
No,
And like I said the other night when he softly grounded into the tying run, I said he is Rafi's protection.
yeah, he I mean Cora even said it because they were hinting at Campbell starting a game at first base against the Yankees, and he was like, "Well, Toro keeps hitting, so why would we do that?" And it's like, thank you for saying that finally. That's
Yeah.
that's something that we have wanted to hear from you instead of being like, no, we want to get Campbell out there. But the other thing, well, first let's go back to Anthony.
Yeah. Okay.
He hit a ball, was it in I think in his major league debut, 111 that just
Yeah.
destroyed the pitcher. Was it
And then his
Pepio?
next at bat, yeah, and then his very next at bat, he rocketed another one right up the middle, but they were playing him like one step outside of the
Right.
second base bag.
And
Which I mean,
they
that's funny if your spray chart for defensive alignment is directly behind second base, like
yeah.
exactly where you're supposed to hit the ball.
Yeah. And they were saying in the broadcast that he destroys velocity, which is I feel like is something even though Raffy gets to it if it's in Raffy's zone, something I think the Red Sox lack is a guy comes in throwing 99 out of the bullpen. Not a lot of guys on the team are turning on that. So, I mean, not a lot of people in Major League Baseball are, if we're being fair.
Yeah.
But that is something that they need so bad is just a guy that crushes fast or crushes velocity. And he ended up making a nice sliding catch last night. He had an
Well, last
RBI
night
double.
his first hit, that RBI double was like a thing of beauty. Merlone even said like that's a tough pitch. That was a
Yeah.
changeup like low and outside out of the zone, and he was looking to shoot it the other way, which for a
Yep.
21-year-old hitter, I mean, is definitely promising. We said it in the spring. Like I unfortunately didn't get to see him at all in Worcester. But we said it in the spring. Like his swing looks like a major league superstar swing.
Yeah. And now Meyer, 2 homers tonight you mentioned. He made a pick. It was actually back-to-back plays. I posted it online and someone was like, those are two routine plays, and it was actually really funny because everyone was like, since when is a sliding catch a routine play? But if you really watch the Meyer play, oh man, this is gonna be a long time. Um, it is such a it's a short, very short hop in a position he doesn't play. He is so smooth in the field. It's it's awesome. I feel like he's the best defender out of the three prospects. I think
Oh yeah.
Anthony's the best hitter.
Yeah.
And Campbell, I feel like, is always just going to be the guy that will be consistent.
Well, let's hope. I mean, I think
What?
he's starting to hit in June. I mean, the last 11 days of Christian Campbell were a lot better than watching him in May. Um,
Yeah,
but they were talking
though,
about it. I
a
mean,
rookie, good start. The pitchers adjust to him. He takes a second to adjust back, and now it seems like he has.
yeah, that's why I opened with saying like, are these people gonna let them be and let them cook? Like in 7 days, when Wilyer Abreu's oblique heals, what's the situation?
Yeah,
Tom,
that's
I gotta tell you something, man. And I really like the guy. Rob Refsnyder is the odd man out here. I don't know why more people don't see it, and I don't understand why he hits third or fourth against lefties. He hasn't hit them well this year. He's not hitting Paul Goldschmidt like 480 off lefties.
yeah. I don't see them doing anything with Ref Schneider. Um, I actually am afraid that Abreu's stint is exactly 10 days, and they send Anthony down. That's just kind of how I
I
feel like. I think that's what's going to happen. Ref Snyder versus left-handers. Yeah, he's hitting better against right-handers. So,
well, I mean, Alex Cora knows more than me and you.
but I'm
Uh,
looking at Fangraphs right now, and I can see that he's hitting. I mean, he's hitting 298 with 4 homers. It's not terrible, but
no, it's not terrible, and that's the thing that everybody will say. Well, he kills left-handers, and I agree with it. He is very good against left-handed pitching. If he's blocking Roman Anthony, though, there's a reason he doesn't bat against right-handers. And maybe you see what you got with the 21-year-old.
yeah, I feel like I feel like
Also, again, I don't like to be negative towards players. I don't think it's I don't think it's productive.
mhm.
But I don't think again, just apologies to the man. I don't think a caliber player like Rob Refsnyder, or I should let me say this again. I don't think Rob Refsnyder is the caliber of player who can carry a team to a division title or a wild card down the stretch. I'm not saying that I think Roman Anthony is, but he is the number one prospect in baseball. Make the time investment.
Yeah, I think the way the Red Sox uh play right now is so, they use the different lineups all the time, different players in different positions. It like makes you forget the fact that like having Rob Refsnyder play once a week is like a good thing. But they mix the lineups around so much, and then they throw their fourth outfielder in the three hole. And obviously, that's only because Bregman's hurt. But that's like, you know, now we're getting
Is it?
funky if your fourth outfielder is batting in the three hole.
Well, sure, it's the three hole is because Bregman's hurt, but if Bregman wasn't hurt, nobody outside of Devers and Bregman were producing in that first month. Maybe a little bit of Story and Campbell. Uh, and they moved him. He was batting. He was their cleanup hitter every time they faced a lefty.
Yeah. No, and that is different than when you were really successful in the years you won the World Series when you had a consistent 3-4, whether it be Manny Ortiz, or Ortiz and God, who batted cleanup in 13?
I think Uke in 13.
Duke wasn't
No,
around in
no,
13.
no,
That
not
was
2013.
must have been
2013.
like Napoli.
I'm gonna tell you what, 2013, talent wise, you look around. That was a team on a mission. It was Napoli or one of
Yeah.
those like giant right-handers.
But you still had David Ortiz there.
Sure, I think he hit 700
And
in that World
and
Series.
Jacoby Ellsbury when he was at the peak of his
The
Jacoby
peak, yeah.
powers. But
And then yeah, and
and
then
then 18, forget about it.
yeah,
That's
probably the best Red Sox team of all time.
yeah. So the consistency there of 3-4, I mean, every
Yeah,
team has it.
the consistency here is maybe just like the 1-2, and Duran has been largely inconsistent this year.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think we're in
the
agreement, man. We need to let it, I would like, and I know that they're not going to play every day because that's like, well, Duran played 160 games last year, but um, like, I don't see the problem with Roman Anthony in left, Ceddanne Rafaela in center field, and Wilyer Abreu in right. I really don't see how you can't build around that young infield at least for one season just to see what it can be. Like, there's so much talent there, but I don't trust the Red Sox to let it breathe or even let it develop.
yeah. I think it will be a very interesting month of July because if they're in this same position, hovering around 500, or even if they're, I don't know. I feel like if they go on have like a crazy good June, the chances of a move like one of those outfielders to get Roman Anthony up is less likely. But if they float around 500, I think we said this last week. If it's just this group isn't working if you're just going to be 500 for the third straight year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if one guy was the All-Star Game MVP, one guy finished third in Rookie of the Year voting. It's just not working. So
No.
let the 21-year-old superstar prospect play.
So I mean, the real like odd man out and the guy who I think is getting just railroaded is Masataka Yoshida. Like,
Yeah.
granted, he does not fit the Red Sox current form of play three different positions and run a little bit. He's a contact hitter, a contact
Hmm.
with medium power hitter. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's a career 285 hitter. Like, there's probably a spot for Yoshida here. They just built the roster kind of poorly and really got lucky on Campbell, Meyer, and Anthony being like uber prospects.
Yeah, I think the way honestly that the roster is messed up right now is just there's too many
Depth.
lefties.
Well, that and there's no infield depth.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of depth, Jack, great segue. The rotation right now is in a weird but interesting spot
Hmm.
because excuse me. They oh baby, my boy Narvaez uh just hosed a guy stealing third. Um,
Hmm.
but
Caballero.
he, so up until this past week, it was Garrett Crochet pitches, and it's like this is pitching nirvana, and then yeah, you kind of choke down the next 4 days, and then Garrett Crochet pitches again. But Hunter Dobbins had a good start Sunday.
Yep.
Um,
Needed to back that up. He talked some shit against about the Yankees.
yeah, and Aaron Judge greeted him very, very poorly.
Aaron Judge
Um,
is hitting 389 or something along those lines, just as a call out. I know we're not on the MLB section. June 11th, Aaron Judge is hitting over 380.
yeah, and also almost has a 6 WAR. Um,
Good Lord.
so, but Dobbins had a good 5 innings.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tom. Sorry, 396. Sorry. Continue.
Well, that's not bad. Uh, but came out with 64 pitches or something where they won the game. Who gives a shit? But you know, still a little hesitant on that third time through the order. Then Bayo went into the seventh, 6 1/3, I think,
Yeah, it was
and
the yeah, it was that was his best start of the year.
and
Um,
then
and he
uh,
battled too. He battled through a ton of gross play again.
mm,
I don't
yeah,
think he gave
yeah,
up any of his runs.
I
Maybe
don't
just the one at
think,
the end because he walked that batter. But I
yeah, he
think
did.
yeah.
He let up two, and it was like, okay, the bad play from Anthony, it's 2 runs, big deal, and then he walked the guy, and
Mm,
Bernardino, who pitches every day, kind of has started to run out of gas a little bit.
yeah.
Uh,
He does pitch every day.
Giolito through 6 yesterday, and Walker Bueller tonight pitched 7 innings.
Yeah. Well,
So
they need that. Their bullpen like desperately needs that.
if it's true that each of those guys didn't just have their best start, and Bayo said he's starting to feel better, like feel more like himself, like when he came came off the IL last year, I think it was. And then uh Giolito, they talked about today. They identified something with his mechanics and shifted it last night. And then
Oh, good.
Bueller, who knows? He started off pitching well, had the shoulder strain,
The last
pitched
game,
terribly.
the last game he got, that
That was
was.
awful.
I mean, that's just not going to happen. I mean, that it sucked. It was in Yankee Stadium, and the worst part about their major league worst, 7 point something first inning ERA,
Hmm.
is that the offense really doesn't have a lot of quit in it. I get frustrated at seeing the mismatch and people batting in a different spot every night. But for the most part, they don't really give up that easy, and they're putting up runs. The only problem is defensively in their bullpen is just not there. I mean, defensively, they are awful again.
Yeah. That that's another thing where it's, you look at the you got to look at the roster come the trade deadline and be like, here we are again. You're looking at bad defense, and I don't know. It's just it gets hard to watch after some time.
Yeah, it's gross. I
Uh
mean, most times that you're watching sloppy baseball is not fun, but they
True.
just like make an error and then they compound it with just like a dumb mistake. And base running is so bad too. I mean, I don't get when it doesn't become the manager's fault, Tom. Granted, he said that in an interview recently, but like base running mistakes almost every other game and leading the league in errors for a third straight season. Whose fault is that?
Yeah. I mean, we even their good years, we were frustrated with their base running. Like when they had Mookie and Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, they would run into a
Uh,
lot of outs, but those are aggressively trying to take an extra base, not running, not advancing from second to third on a fly ball to the triangle and not scoring the game tying run on the next fly ball because of it is mental mistakes that rely with like coaching.
yeah. Uh, but to the pitching point, uh,
Sorry.
Stats Masterson had an article today that in the in a 4 week, 26 game span prior to Giolito's start on Tuesday, this is from the article. Sox starters averaged 4.6 innings, which was 29th in baseball over that time. 6.34 ERA, which was 29th. 21% strikeout rate, which was 20th, and a 307 opponent batting average, which was 30th.
Hmm.
So if they can, if Bayo can turn into a number two guy, and then you know Giolito, who knows, is coming off an injury. He might start to settle in. I don't think he'll be his White Sox self ever again. And Walker Bueller, I don't know. He was so dominant in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I mean, one of
There's
them
a
can catch a hot stretch, but what I don't see in what happens from all of these 1 and 2 year contracts is you really don't get like a full guy, like a top of the market free agent pitcher who's ready to come in and pitch. What has happened with some of the top free agent arms? They're hurt. They're Blake Snell and guys like that. But I mean,
I think every
building a
Dodger is hurt.
rotation. That's true. They've used 14 starting pitchers this year. Um,
I
it's
I was
only
trying to
June.
I was trying to make a point today, and I was looking at the most innings pitched by a bullpen, thinking it might be the Red Sox. They're fifth most innings pitched, but number one is the Dodgers. But they do that intentionally.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, even with that, like this is what you get, the inconsistency, the injuries, are stuff when you don't want to pay for top tier front end starters. Yes, you got Garrett Crochet and you did sign him. Um, one guy every 5 days is not good enough to get you into the playoffs. I mean,
Hmm.
uh he's one of the best pitchers in the American League and certainly is in line to take that top spot in the well, Tarek Skubal, never mind. Tigers, Tarek Skubal. Um,
Yeah.
but
I was
it
waiting
really
for where you were going because I was just going to say Scooble, but
yeah, well, I was just trying to think. There are clearly guys having better years than him, but he's for what the Red Sox expected of him, he's done that. He's delivered and more.
mhm.
Like every fifth day, with really him and Scooble, Skeens, and Yamamoto is like can't miss television. Garrett Crochet is going to pitch his ass off every fifth day, but there's so much inconsistency, and I hope this is the time of year that Bayo starts to come into form. Um, because he's really the only homegrown guy that will have any exposure to long term. Like most likely Bueller and Giolito are gone after this year. If Hunter Dobbins continues to develop into a starting pitcher, that would be great. I think he's got good stuff. But they need a number two. They need a Kurt Schilling. They need another frontline guy who can help Crochet in a playoff series. Like if you had a 5 game series against the Red Sox right now, it's Garrett Crochet, and then you're 50-50 on Giolito or Bueller, what kind of guy you're going to get. And I don't even know
Mhm.
if Bayo makes a start in that series.
Oh, I would 100% expect Bayo starts over Giolito.
Maybe.
But no, I get your point. It's true. In you know, until Garrett Cole blew out his arm, the Yankees were going to have Cole and Fried.
Imagine
And
that. They're already 9 games up. Imagine if
the
they had those two.
and the Mariners have four really good pitchers, even though right now Gilbert's hurt. The Phillies have had good pitchers. Strider has been struggling to get back to his normal self. He's continuing to get hurt, but they have Sale. Uh, Schwellenbach's good. So you
I
look
mean,
at the
Chris
good teams,
Chris Sale's on his
and
way to 2 in a row Cy Youngs. I mean,
well, your boy Yamamoto might have something to
I
say
know,
about
I know,
that.
I know, I know.
Uh, yeah, in like 2 weeks when we do our all-star team uh episode, it's going to be interesting because I would say 100% Tarek Skubal should start,
Yeah.
but I'm a dirty homer and I would like to see Crochet. And then as much as I hate that he pitches for the Yankees and he's who I wanted the Red Sox to sign in free agency
Oh
because I
boy,
never
yeah.
thought they were going to get Soto, Max Fried is having a hell of a year.
Yep. He sure is.
So, yeah, the pitching, I don't know if this is just like a good 4 games or if they're going to just kind of start being honestly, Jack, if they just all have 3.5 ERAs, I will be ecstatic. If it's,
3-5 or
yeah,
5?
no, 3.5,
Yeah, yeah, sure. Oh, sure, Tom.
3.5.
Sure, sure, sure.
Um, or length. Give me some length. Like,
Eat some innings, maybe.
yeah, just average 5.2 innings. I like to do point 0.2 instead of point 0.6. Did you did you just eat something in a podcast? Don't put your mic up. What is that? A Cracker Jack? That was the only thing that would make sense. Cocaine? You just pointed to your nose and okay. I'll vamp, I guess.
I'm muted. I'm muted. I was experiencing some heartburn, and I got.
Jack, don't no free ads.
This isn't free. This is generic antacid.
Get it, get out of there. Uh so Major League Baseball, and I think, oh yes. Oh, I thought Narvaez hit a homer. Because guess who I am absolutely unabashedly going to say should start as catcher of the American League. Oh
Yeah,
shit, Cal Raleigh. Damn it.
yeah. I
Fuck.
was gonna say.
Damn it.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, make the
Max
team.
Fried, just a quick note on Max Fried. Somebody who I should start including in my can't miss TV, but like you said, pitches for the Yankees, it's tough to watch that. 9-1, 1.84 ERA. Woof.
So I saw a stat that he was the first pitcher since 2000, Pedro, to have an under 2 ERA and start the season 8-0.
Good company. That's
Yeah.
good company to keep.
Yep.
Oh my
Because
God.
people love to look at win-loss records, but 2000 Pedro might have been better than 99.
Mm. Can't argue with
And
it.
I believe it was Tombstone where they say, and that's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Actually, I can't even say it's a fact because the if we want to do it, we can, but we probably shouldn't. 99 Pedro not winning the MVP is the biggest abomination in baseball history.
You know, Tom, I don't know that that's true, but there it is up there in the top three of biggest slights. The reason being two writers from New York completely left him off their ballot. Just inexcusable. But no, he had a better season than who won it? Pudge Rodriguez that year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was initially going to say before Carlos Narvaez distracted me. The Major League Baseball had last year had this issue and is trending that way again that division races might not be anything.
Hmm.
Yankees are up 9 games. Tigers are up 6, I think it was.
I got it in
Astros
front of
and
me. Yeah, it's Tigers are up 8.
8. Astros and Mariners are pretty close.
And
That's
again,
Astros and
the Mariners are
hold
on a
on, Jack.
schneid. They're 3-7.
Hold your underpants. The second place AL West Los Angeles Angels are 3.5 back.
Hmm.
Get Mike Trout in the playoffs, Ron Washington.
I agree with that, but that would be wild.
Yeah, I don't think.
If the Angels finish ahead of the Rangers, that is going to be wild.
Yeah, not great for my preseason pick. Mets only 4.5 up against the Phillies, so maybe this isn't so bad. Cubs 5 up on the Cardinals, but I don't think the Cardinals will keep pace. They're winning. They're winning games, but I don't know. And then the one that's you got to look at is Dodgers, Giants, Padres, and if the Dodgers remain unhealthy, that's going to be a bloodbath.
So not only, I mean, you can't even really count the Diamondbacks out because they're only 6.5 back. Like they're at 500 and they're ready to strike. I think the Giants are better than anybody gave them credit for, which is nice. But yeah, watching that NL West is a fun little 10 p.m. treat every night because they are nasty. They mash. Like I love the Padres. Obviously, it's the only place I can still listen to Don Orsillo do his thing every night. Um, and I'm a Fernando Tatis guy. But yeah, that's going to be a fun race. I would say that the National League is closer than the American League. I think in the
Mm-hmm.
American League you'll get close wild card races, but it'll be a bunch of like five wins above 500 type teams. Um, and again, the National League Central, like you, I agree with you that the Cardinals may not keep up, but the Brewers are only 5.5 back, and the Reds are like electric. I don't know. I love Francona, and I think he's the perfect guy there. Uh, it's certainly not going to be the Pirates, the Marlins, or the Rockies. It's
Oh,
funny that every team has just a punching bag. Seems like the Braves want to be the America or the National League East punching bag. They're really trying to do that. Um, just throwing away all those peak. I mean, not peak because he's coming back from an injury, but Acuna is destroying the baseball since he has
oh,
been
he
back.
came back ready to go. Uh, Jack, here speaking of fun baseball, here's a little question for you. Let me know if you know this. Do you know who is fifth in all of Major League Baseball in home runs?
Fifth in all of Major League Baseball in home runs. Tyler Soderstrom.
Nope, 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 nope. He's actually fallen off. So
Is he a national leaguer?
Raleigh, Raleigh, Judge, Otani, Schwarber were 1 through 4. Yes, this
Okay.
person is a National League player.
A National League baseballer. Um,
Yeah, he's a baller. He's a baseman.
okay. Hold on now. I'm gonna say is it PCA?
No, that's a good guess. See,
I should
this
know
this
this.
is what I was hoping would happen
Yeah, you want a
because,
guy like this to get in there.
but when I say the name, he's not a guy like this to get in there. He's not
Okay, what do you got?
it's Corbin Carroll.
Yeah. I mean, he's a rookie of the year, dude. He didn't have a bad sophomore year, but he did
No,
fall off, I
his
think.
he had like a horrendous April and then was
Yeah,
incredible the rest of the year. I'm just saying he is so good. It's and like
19
it was
homers,
I
yeah.
thought of it because of your point of the Diamondbacks can't be counted out. Jack, sixth in Major League Baseball in home runs is Eugenio Suarez.
He can mash him too. He was like
Yeah.
he's always been up at the top of the like you look and he's always like sneaky got a 30 homer season going. And
But
tell you what, it's gonna be tough for the D-backs though. Tell me that Corbin Burns injury for the rest of the year.
oh yeah. Yeah, we talked about it last week. It was exactly what you thought it was when he just turned and screamed fuck.
Hmm.
And then um
He just
all
said,
right.
"It's my elbow. It's my elbow. It's
Yeah.
my elbow."
Do you want to just clear out now? You texted me. Um, do you want to talk?
You want to lay out? You're just gonna lay
Yeah.
out and let me cook
I'll
for a
just
little
watch
bit?
Aroldis Chapman try and nail down this W.
All right. Listen, it's not gonna be some giant glazing. Uh, however, I mean, we're 17 strikeouts away from Clayton Kershaw reaching 3,000 career strikeouts. And again, I know what everybody's first thing to say about Clayton Kershaw is, and they're not wrong. He can't win in the playoffs. He sucks in the playoffs, which, again, you're not wrong. I mean, ask Matt Adams. Matt Adams is still dining out on that NLCS homer that he hit off Clayton Kershaw. Um, However, if you go back and look at Clayton Kershaw's numbers from 2008 to 2025, this is his 18th year in the big leagues, you are going to see one of the greatest pitchers. I mean, honestly, one of the greatest pitchers that has ever played the game of baseball. And I think it's reason to celebrate his 3,000 strikeout. And I will be very excited for when it happens.
So he'll be the 20th player to do it. Keeping him in 20th place because that's where he is now. John Smoltz would be next on the list. He has 3,079. But uh, I think you have a little mama bear thing going on right now because I know he had some playoff disappointments, but I don't think anyone is actually arguing against Clayton Kershaw's credentials.
Oh, I've heard it, Tom. I've heard it long and
You're
hard in the group
you're go
chat.
you're going you're going too far down the rabbit hole of negative people if they can't just say that is the who great argument, but possibly the pitcher of the generation. I guess the argument's between him and Verlander. I put
Verlander
him
has
above.
3,400 strikeouts, which I
Well,
mean,
him and Scherzer are. I was going to say, so you can just check milestone tracker on Baseball Reference,
mhm,
and Verlander is 43 strikeouts away from 3,500. Scherzer is 92
yeah.
from.
So there have been better K guys. I mean, but from 2011 to 2017, Clayton Kershaw's ERA didn't come close to anything with it starting with a number three.
Jack.
The closest it came was 2.53.
There's a guy who writes for The Ringer. His name is Ben Limberg, and he doesn't cover baseball as much as he used to. Um, he made it a point to talk about how Clayton Kershaw's career ERA during his absolute peak, his career ERA consistently went down for like 8 straight seasons.
That's what it,
That
yeah, that's
that doesn't happen.
no,
Like your career ERA goes up. You have your peak years and it goes up. His continued to go down.
just kept going down.
Oh,
Um,
Chapman locked it up. That's another series win. So the Red Sox have won 3 of their last 4 series,
yeah, they're playing
which
well.
12, that's what, 12 games. You win two. That's 8-4. Not bad.
Yeah.
See that? That's
So,
public school and state school education for you, Jack. Goal answers. It's on my hat.
yeah, that's a big win for the state of Massachusetts there. Good win for the Commonwealth. Won an MVP, 3 Cy Youngs. Just he's got 2 World Series too. I mean, good for Clayton Kershaw. Very happy. I have directed people, I have directed haters to his baseball reference page, and they have been converted. You know what? You know what is on Clayton Kershaw's baseball reference page, Tom, that you don't see with a run of the mill, like let's say you got a 4-time All-Star. You know what you don't see on those pages like you see on Clayton Kershaw?
What's
A
that?
lot of bold ink.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Guy
Yeah,
led the league
Jack.
in everything.
I know you're
I'm just
getting this off
saying.
your chest. I understand how good Clayton Kershaw is. You know
Thank
what?
you.
Someone now I this person was like
And I'll never forgive Dave Roberts for taking him out of that perfect game.
his slider's getting flat. So uh The thing is, someone made this point, and I was like, this is kind of it because he has a funky wind up with a hitch.
Yep.
So like he was never like it's weird. It wasn't like it was fun to watch him because he dominated and was awesome, but it wasn't like aesthetically pleasing like Pedro.
Yeah, I know what you mean there. Pedro had that classic like three quarters that you knew 97 to 100 was just going to come ripping out of that arm. But
Yeah.
Kershaw had that weird, especially with somebody on base, and he's got like the weird
Oh
like
my God, yeah.
Gaylord Perry set like way up high.
That set is the worst in the show. I hate
Yeah.
facing
Oh
Kershaw.
gosh. Ugh. Don't. Oh God.
So
It actually
that
sucks to
got
pitch with him as much as I like it. It sucks to pitch with
yeah.
him.
So Jack, so that got me thinking.
Good.
Um, we got some milestones coming up.
Oh, good. This I like this. Good. Good pivot.
So the big one here for hits is pretty far away still, and it
I know
probably
who it
won't
is.
happen this year.
I know
But
who it is.
Freeman is 159 hits away from 2,500,
Oh, that's
which
not what I thought you were going to say, but okay.
gets you in a pretty good group. You know,
Yeah, 2,500 hits is no joke.
100 guys have done it.
That's not a lot in the history of
101.
baseball.
Um, Machado is 19 away from 2,000.
That's who I thought you were going to say. And I actually heard somebody say, what is Machado's age? Early 30s? 31? 31.
31. Yeah, of course. Um, 32.
Okay. So when
That's
I
it.
read about 19 away from 2000, the argument was, does he have enough to make 3,000? Which I thought, no. Unless he plays for 10 more years. I mean, he could be in his stat collection years.
Yeah. Well, I looked up Machado today. His last month, he has been unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a score. He's been scorching hot. Yeah.
Um, Arenado's 117 away from 2,000,
Good.
and so
Nice.
is Carlos Santana.
Okay.
So then you got the big one, Trout, 12 away from 400 homers.
He'll get
Um,
that. I think Trout will get that. Uh,
he'll get it this year.
shortly after the All-Star break, maybe.
Yeah, he's just
He's ripping
crushing
the ball. He's
singles
ripping
right
the co-
now.
he's ripping the
Or
cover off the ball though. Like
if Dick Fitz pitches, he'll hit one 700 feet.
I don't know how some of those homers that go out of the stadium in Fenway in center field aren't measured at like more of a 470, but I think it's more of a 470 when the ball goes out there.
Yeah. So the other interesting one to go along with uh, the what did I just say? Arenado one away from 350. Harper's five away, and Judge is 11.
Yeah.
Judge was the rookie of the year in 2016.
Judge, I looked at it. Judge is 33. He's got 339 homers. Like, if he keeps this pace up for 2 more years, he has a legitimate shot at 500.
I as crazy it is as it is, and we all know the injury history, but Judge has a slight one too, which is more impressive in this argument here. He's gonna pass Trout.
I was just looking at Trout's page. Trout's at 388. So just about, let's call it 50 homers ahead of Aaron Judge, 49. But yeah, man. I mean, as
Which
Trout
also,
slows, then you're right, Tom. Listen, I've given you shit for it before, but the non-injury 150 game average of Mike Trout is, you know, top top three player of all time. Definitely a
yeah,
top three homer hitter.
someone someone said it perfect, and I know we've talked about this before, but someone said what sucks is these injuries have made him a no doubt surefire Hall of Famer when he would have been an inner circle Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like,
Which, I mean, if you want to just talk about the problem with the Hall of Fame is that there's an inner circle and then
well,
there are
no,
Hall of
it's
Fame guys.
no, but it's like now you're talking about
Your Ted
a
Williams, your Babe Ruths,
and
your Hank Aaron's.
yeah, your Willie Mays. Like, all right, and then another one that caught my eye a little bit is doubles. Arenado's
Okay.
three away from 400. Carlos Santana's one away.
Wow.
Bryce Harper 18, Manny Machado 19, Jose Ramirez 22, Mookie is 22. All those guys could get to 400 doubles this year.
Yeah,
And then Rafael Devers 27 away from 300.
that's good.
Yeah, doubles
Seems like
machine.
he's always really just rocketing a ball somewhere.
And then, that's honestly all that really matters to me. I'm not going to look at pitcher wins. I bet it would be lame. All right, I'll click on it. Chris Sale is 8 away from 150.
Yeah, that is not the same as it used to be.
Verlander wins 2 games and he'll move into 40th place, which is just crazy.
Yep.
Scherzer with one more win will pass Schilling, Charlie Huff,
Hmm.
and he'll be in 85th. Kershaw is in 95th. It's just different. It's a different
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it is.
All right. I don't know if you've peeked on it. Oh, you want to talk about Skeens? Where Skeens talk about guy that's not going to get a lot of wins.
Well, that's what I mean, as we're talking, and I know I mentioned him as one of the best in the game right now. He's had 14 starts this year, allowed 18 runs, and has 4 wins.
Yeah,
The
it's
the Pittsburgh Pirates, folks. Like this is as bad as you've seen a guy be this good at pitching and get absolutely zero help. Maybe early Verlander, like on the Tigers, Zach Greinke, in his peak years on the Royals, those kind of amazing. Ubaldo Jimenez, in that one
mm,
half a season, he was the best pitcher in baseball. Um,
you know what? I that made me think when you said that. Greinke, I don't know if he's retired, like
yeah,
his paperwork submitted. That dude finished 21 strikeouts short of 3,000.
yikes.
That's tough. That's
Yeah,
like Bonds and 3,000 hits. It's like Fred McGriff is 7 homers away from 500. That I respect you a lot for being like, I'm not going to chase 500 home runs. I would chase 500 home runs.
I mean, Bonds got fired, which
Yeah.
is a bummer. But Barry Bonds didn't walk away from the game. He said, and I quote, as he left uh, Oracle Park or whatever it was called, for the last time as a Giant,
Pac Bell.
I set every record in the game and I got fired. Which, oh
Yeah.
God, I mean, I haven't
He
looked in
also
a
got
long
walked
time.
230 times a year.
Click. I said there was a lot of bold on Clayton Kershaw's
Yeah, I was going
baseball
to say,
reference page.
check out
My
Bonds.
goodness, my
Yeah.
goodness.
All right. Final
Um,
thing, real quick. I don't know if you've peeked. I haven't looked at it yet tonight. Uh, NBA Finals is 1-1. What do you think?
Oh, Oklahoma City. I thought
Yeah.
Indiana, the game one Indiana was an absolute freak like thing. I'm glad I got to watch the fourth quarter. I turned it on like right at the right time.
Yeah.
Um, Halliburton is great half the time, and
Mm,
Shea and SGA is great every single game. There hasn't
yeah.
been a more lock. Well, maybe Giannis. Did Giannis or Chris Middleton win the MVP that year? Was it Giannis?
Oh, it was Giannis. He scored 50
Yeah,
points in the
yeah,
clincher.
right. So okay, so never ever since Giannis, you can't look at a player like you can look at SGA and just go immediately pencil in 30 points next to his name. Like he's
Yeah.
gonna get 30 points.
Also, reports came out that the Halliburton's dealing with a lower leg thing. They're not talking about it. They're just calling it that. So see you later. Sayonara.
Yep.
I also love the quote. I forget who they asked. I think they asked J Dub, how do you slow down? How are you slowing down Tyrese Halliburton? And he just said Lou Dort.
Yeah,
That's, that team, they
it's
like
good.
each other and it's cool. And I think completely healthy Celtics team might have struggled against them because they did in the
Big
regular
time.
season.
I think a completely healthy Celtics team, it would have been an extremely frustrating Eastern Conference Finals to watch against the Pacers. and I think that the the Thunder might have been really better than them the entire year, and that's why they're getting this
Yeah.
opportunity in the finals to really, I think, maybe win it in 5 games.
Yeah. So,
Maybe
all right.
Indiana wins one, but I don't know.
Like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. We're on TikTok now. We're going totally TikTok viral. No big deal. That's the Neverwheres. Everything's the Neverwheres. You'll see it. It's a bar logo. It's a neon sign. Um, Jack, I will talk to you some point next week, and have a good Father's Day. I don't know if I'm going to see you. We might. I don't know
Yeah,
what
sure.
happened with
We don't
that.
know what's going to happen there. But yeah, happy Father's Day.
Um,
Bye bye.
all right, see ya.